Welcome. This is the inaugural episode of StartJOIN TV. And what better guest to have than the George Galloway. George, welcome to this.
Thanks. It's an auspicious occasion. I'm really proud to be a part of it.
Fantastic. I want to get your take on something here. You know, we're RT buddies. You know, we do shows on RT. Meanwhile, the rest of the world in journalism seems to be falling apart. The HSBC Telegraph scandal. They didn't report anything about HSBC scandals in the Telegraph. Stephanie Flanders, going back last year at the BBC, she never reported on JP Morgan's scandalous behavior, and then she took a job with JP Morgan. Brian Williams over at NBC in America, caught lying. Kathy Newman here at Channel 4, an amazing lie, you know, going to a mosque, not going, you know, just almost hate speech, bordering on hate speech. And of course, Andrew Neil at the BBC and Joe Coburn recently had to apologize for some of the sloppiest journalism I've ever seen on the BBC. What's happening to global editorial standards? And why is RT? RT seems to be leading the way at this point.
Well, quite, and it's no accident that RT is rapidly becoming one of the world's greatest news sources. The more ordure that's heaped upon it by Western journalists, the faster its audience grows, and in several languages. Dr. Johnson, the great English man of letters, said, "There's no dictatorship more grim than the dictatorship of the prevailing orthodoxy." And what we're seeing now is the prevailing orthodoxy falling apart. That explains the worldwide appetite for your take on things. To a slightly lesser degree, the appetite for my take on matters political, and the proliferation of alternative media.
Let's talk about prevailing orthodoxy for a second. You had me up in Bradford West talking to your constituency. It's primarily Muslim constituency, and had a great time speaking about banking system and fraud in the banking system. And of course, I'm getting into cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, and we talked a little bit about this. It seems to me that if the labor movement failed and monetarism failed, as now widely understood, people are saying central bank era is over, it failed. We're entering into a period of crypto. And one of the easiest ways to use cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and StartCoin that we use at StartJOIN is in the remittance market. My question to you, and we talked about a little bit up there in Bradford West, but isn't Bitcoin an ingenious way to improve people's financial lot in life all over this country, especially in the remittance market, because the cost of sending remittances back to various countries, people are coming here and working and sending it back, is virtually zero. And as you, as an MP in the House of Commons, are you looking at this? Is this something you can take to your constituents? What do you think?
I'm grateful to you for teaching me about this. And the first time you tried to, I fell asleep because it was over my head. I had never heard of Bitcoin when you came on my then radio show talking about it. But little by little, I've come to realize that you are right. And you are nowhere more right than on the issue of remittances. 40% of my constituents, almost 38% of my constituents, are people of South Asian extraction. Almost every one of them is regularly sending money back to their own families back in the subcontinent, or to pay bills for property they have, and so on. And they're paying through the nose in order to do so. If they're doing it top dollar, they're doing it in very exploitative channels, or if they're doing it bottom dollar, sometimes the guy on the money exchange just shuts the doors and runs away, and they lose all their money. But your idea, it's not just yours, of course, but you've popularized it, of transferring at zero cost by Bitcoin is so obvious. Even I have now begun to see it. So I'm actually proselytizing now for this in Bradford. I will be in Parliament if I'm re-elected for the 7th time for another term in Parliament. I'm going to make it a major priority. Who knows, maybe we'll even get our own Bitcoin. The Bradford has a ring about it. Solid, secure, traditional. The Bradford Bitcoin.
It's
Who
halal.
knows? Yes, and it's perfectly halal.
It's halal.
This is the important thing. It's absolutely halal.
Now, you talked about re-election. We've got a campaign on StartJOIN. We're raising money for your re-election from your constituents, from people in the UK. We've got a few £1,000s left. We're getting down to the last few days. I want to get it over 100%, because then people can actually pledge Bitcoin when it gets over 100%. To make this interesting for folks, I want to talk to you right now. If we get over 100% on this project, on StartJOIN for your re-election, I want to get your commitment right now. First of all, A, you and I do a massive live show, again, for absolute free admission. We'll find the biggest hall we can, another big show. We've done a couple of shows before. They've been really well attended. Can I get your commitment for one, possibly two shows? Let's say two shows, two live shows, Max and George.
Let's do it. There's a big market for what we've got to say, even though we don't agree on everything, and not everyone there will agree with us, but they know that we mean it. They know that we're serious, but that we're also fun and entertaining. So
okay, on the first show, two big shows. On the first show, we get over 100% on this project, George. I'm going to bring with me 50 ounces of silver to give away in a raffle of some type. But 50 ounces of silver, 50 people that show up that night will get a free Keiser silver coin on that live show. But we're only going to do it if we get over 100% on this project on StartJOIN. We'll put the details here on StartJOIN TV. Are you down with this? Are you good with this?
I'm absolutely. And they say that politics is show business for ugly people. But what would we know?
We belie that. We go against that, I think. We prove them wrong.
What would we know about that?
All right, well, thanks so much for being on the premiere episode of StartJOIN TV, George Galloway.
It's an absolute honor. You've been one of the most important revelations in my life. And there's millions of people know the importance of what you are saying. Max Keiser, it's a privilege to be here.
Thank you, George.
All the best.
All right, stay tuned for future episodes of StartJOIN TV. In the meantime, go to the StartJOIN website, look at George's project, the re-election campaign. If we get over 100%, that's 50 ounces of free silver to people in the audience, and we'll have a fantastic free admission show. Not one, but two. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.